Hi, in this video, we're going to be diving into eliminating debt. So I've had my experience with debt. So you're not alone, I've had to learn this from experience in order to be able to share this with you. So yeah, we're going to talk about how to completely wipe that out. So the first step, really take the time to sit down, go through all of your financial statements and figure out how much you actually owe, even though this may feel extremely daunting, because once you do have an overview of your current situation, then you can begin to work on eliminating the debt smart and strategically so that you can get it out of the way as quickly as you possibly can. So the second step is to create a plan. And so there are many different debt reducing strategies available. Snowball method, which is essentially you start with the littlest ones and then you work your way up until the big one. Or you can do it the other way around, where you start with the biggest debt that you have. I mean, you're still paying the minimum payments on all of them. You don't want to mess up your credit score and all of those kinds of things. But then you add top-ups on top of it. And the thing that I would suggest doing this one by one. So you pick one to focus on at a time to do the top-up on. That way you're not sort of spreading yourself all over the place, and you can kind of keep your energy and your focus in one area, excel at eliminating that one, and then move on incrementally to the other ones, okay? And so planning is awesome, right? Because it gives you the focus and the clarity on what steps need to be taken and the time frame until that debt, all of your debt will be achieved. And it's also going to help you break down the big, when people think about debt, sometimes it can feel very overwhelming, oh my God, there's this much amount of money that I need to, pay back. But when you plan, it allows you to break that big goal down into smaller bite-sized chunks, which makes committing to it and achieving the goal so much more easier. Third step is essentially to cut back on your expenses. So for example, some sort of things that you could do to help you reduce or cut back on your expenses, are things like you could stop eating takeout and actually cooking from home. You can also brown bag your lunch, so take a packed lunch to work instead of having to actually go out during your lunchtime and buy different foods. You can switch up how you use transportation. Maybe, you're always driving and you have to pay for car parking and petrol and all of those kinds of things. But if you were to sort of switch it up, you realize that, okay, maybe where I'm going is within walking distance, right? Or maybe I could take a bike instead. You can also cancel any unused direct debits or memberships to certain clubs or, the gym or anything that you're not really using. You can have laid back social gatherings at home or in your friend's house or things like that, rather than having to go out, or just grab a bottle of wine and just kick back, have a chat at home on the sofa, watch a movie and those kinds of things. You can even negotiate some of your bills. Maybe you can call up your phone provider and negotiate a better deal for yourself. Call up your gas or your electricity provider and all of those kinds of things. And the fourth step is to increase your income, which I guess is the fun part, right? Because everybody wants to make more money. Yeah, and so you want to really get creative with the ways that you're able to generate money. There are loads of different ways that you can do this, right? You can sell unused items. You can apply for a grant. And a grant is basically a non-repayable fund to assist for different circumstances. So you can have business grants, health grants, student grants, and all of these different things. So there are different options that you can look into, but they are actually available there for you to use. And you have to qualify for the right criteria. So it's about researching, what's my situation? Are there any grants out there that may be able to help me? Might not necessarily be a grant that you can use to just pay off all the debt, but it could be a grant that could help you in a certain specific area, and now you have more money available for you to direct towards. You can monetize your gifts and your talent, and that's a way that you can increase your income. When we talk about side hustles, it doesn't always have to be, some kind of way to get money that you don't actually enjoy. It can be something that you're actually really good at right now. You can actually help someone else and they can pay you in exchange for helping them. So the fifth step is to adopt new habits. So I've spoken a little bit about this when I was speaking about investing and paying off debt at the same time, you know, because the series of events that led up to you finding yourself in debt all relate to your past habits and experiences, you know, and an essential part of creating positive money habits is not just understanding, you know, what you spend, but why you actually spend the way that you do, you know. And when you do that, that way you can actually find the root cause of your spending motivation and then shift, you know, to positive daily money habits that support your success and improve your financial situation. Like I speak to different clients and stuff, it's sort of understanding, you know, what triggers those shopping sprees. You know, are you in a bad mood? You know, when you're in a bad mood or you're having a bad day, or you've had like a bad, you're just not feeling yourself, you know, do you go out and for retail therapy, right? Because retail therapy generally tends to be triggered by some kind of emotional response to something, you know. And so positive money habits can include things like saving 10% of your paycheck, so what's known as paying yourself first, regularly checking your account, you know, following your spending pattern, automating your bills. That will definitely help you. Cool. So remember, make sure you break it a top priority on your list of things to do. Second, make sure you create a plan, a structured plan that you can commit to. Then you want to cut back on your expenses, you know, make sure you're getting value for the money that's already in your life. Then you want to increase your income, right? So that you're earning way more than you spend. And then adopt new habits, which are essentially going to improve your financial situation and create a whole new paradigm for you around money. Remember, you can click the link below to work with me one-on-one. And please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you're someone who likes to help others, then share this video with your friends and family, because when you share, you add value. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.